Question number 146. Renin is secreted from the juxtaglomerular cells that are modified cells in the wall of, and the options are distal convoluted tubule, efferent arteriole, afferent arteriole, and proximal convoluted tubule. And the correct answer to this question is option number 3, afferent arteriole, because renin is secreted from the juxtaglomerular cells that are modified cells in the wall of afferent arteriole. As you can see here in this diagrammatic representation of juxtaglomerular apparatus, along with macula densa, the wall of afferent arteriole contains modified smooth muscle fibers called juxtaglomerular cells, and these juxtaglomerular cells are responsible for the secretion of renin, which help in regulation of blood pressure. Let's discuss rest of the options. The very first option given is distal convoluted tubule, and this is an incorrect option. Distal convoluted tubule have specialized cells called macula densa and not juxtaglomerular cells. The next option is efferent arteriole, and this is an incorrect option. This is efferent arteriole and they lack juxtaglomerular cells. And the last option is proximal convoluted tubule, and this is also an incorrect option. As you can see here, proximal convoluted tubule is here and it has no role to play in the secretion of renin. So the correct answer to this question is option number 3. Let's proceed to the next question. Question number 147. Select the incorrect match, and the very first match given is hinge joint and the match is elbow joint. And as it is a correct match, so this cannot be a correct answer to our question, because in elbow joint as well as in knee joint, hinge joint is present between the bones. The next option is pivot joint and the match is between atlas and axis, and as it is also a correct match, so this cannot be a correct answer to our question, because pivot joint is a type of synovial joint which is present between atlas and axis cervical vertebrae. The next option is fibrous joint and the match is sutures, and as it is also correct match, so this cannot be a correct answer to our question, because fibrous joints or immovable joints are present between the bones in cranium and they are sutures. And the last option is saddle joint and the match is interphalanges, and as it is an incorrect match, so this is a correct answer to our question, because saddle joint is a type of synovial joint which is present between carpals and metacarpal of human thumb, whereas hinge joint is present in interphalanges. As you can see here, this is a hinge joint and it is present in interphalanges. So the correct answer to this question is option number 4. Let's proceed to the next question. Question number 148. The dorsal portion of the midbrain consists of 4 round swellings called, and the options are cerebral aqueduct, corpora quadrigemina, corpus callosum, and corpus striatum. And the correct answer to this question is option number 2, corpora quadrigemina. The dorsal portion of midbrain consists of 4 round swellings called corpora quadrigemina that controls auditory and visual reflexes. Now let's discuss the rest of the options. The very first option given is cerebral aqueduct, and this is an incorrect option because a canal called cerebral aqueduct passes through the midbrain. The next option is corpus callosum, and this is an incorrect option because the tract of nerve fibers which connects the 2 cerebral hemispheres is called corpus callosum. And the last option is corpus striatum, and this is an incorrect option because the largest nuclei in basal ganglia is corpus striatum, which regulates planning and execution of stereotyped movements. So the correct answer to this question is option number 2. The 4 round swellings are called corpora quadrigemina, which are present in the dorsal portion of midbrain. Now let's discuss our next question. Question number 149. Select the odd one with respect to hypersecretion of hormones, and the options given are Cushing syndrome, diabetes insipidus, Graves' disease, and adrenal virilism. And the correct answer to this question is option number 2, diabetes insipidus, because the failure of secretion of vasopressin or ADH, antidiuretic hormone, leads to diabetes insipidus. On the other hand, the other three options, that is Cushing syndrome, Graves' disease, and adrenal virilism, are result of hypersecretion of hormones. Excess secretion of cortisol or hypersecretion of cortisol leads to Cushing syndrome. Graves' disease, hyperthyroidism, leads to exophthalmic goiter, or Graves' disease. So this is an incorrect option. And the last option is adrenal virilism. And this is an incorrect option because excessive secretion of sex corticoids caused adrenal virilism. So the correct answer to this question is option number 2. Let's discuss our next question. Question number 150. Select the incorrect match with respect to animal, its character, and taxon. And the very first option given is Euspongia, character given is collar cells, and taxon is Porifera. And as it is a correct match, so this cannot be a correct answer to our question. Because Euspongia, also known as bath sponge, belongs to the phylum Porifera, and the characteristic of this phylum is collar cells or choanocytes, which lines the canal system or spongocoel of poriferans. The next option is Pleurobrachia. Character given is comb plates, and the taxon given is Ctenophora. And as it is also a correct match, so this cannot be a correct answer to our question, because Pleurobrachia belongs to the phylum Ctenophora, and Ctenophores characteristically possesses ciliated comb plates for locomotion. The next option is Chaetopleura. Character given is Malpighian tubules, and taxon is Arthropoda. And as it is an incorrect match, so this is a correct answer to our question, because Chaetopleura, which is also known as chitin, is a mollusk. On the other hand, Malpighian tubules are the excretory structures which are present in insects or in arthropods. The last option given is Nereis. Character given is Nephridia, and the taxon given is Annelida. And as it is a correct match, this cannot be a correct answer to our question, because Nereis belongs to the phylum Annelida, and Nephridia are the excretory structures present in annelids such as Nereis. So the correct answer to this question is option number 3. Let's proceed to the next question.